Old Guys Rock is getting ready to start up in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, Emily Fraser.
Hello. Hi. Thank you for having me. It's good. It's good to talk to you.
I couldn't be happier to have you here. Yeah. So, how does it feel to be on Old Guys Rock when you're such a young girl?
It feels totally natural. I feel like I've always gotten along really well with older people. Like we were just talking about our buddy Tom, who I play guitar with, and I tell people, and it's so funny because I think he's 65, and he's like one of my best friends. I'm like, yeah, my best friend's like 65. I don't know. I'm an old soul.
Yeah. You know, boy, you hit the nail right on the head. I've known Emily for many years, since she was in college, actually. I was a GM at restaurant business for many years, as you guys probably know from my cooking vids and stuff, my restaurant reviews. But Emily, I remember the day Emily came in to interview for the job at Gordon Biersch in Town Center in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And I interviewed her, and I sat her down, and within, 5 seconds, I knew Emily was different. She's always been different. She's just, like she said, she's an old soul. She just is. She's on a whole other level. And let me tell you, she was an amazing restaurant server. She turned into a great bartender, manager, all this time having no idea that she sang. And years later, I'm sitting there putting together a 3-piece, and I put an ad out looking for a chick singer. And somehow I got a hold of Emily, and she's like, I am singing now. I said, what? And I had a guy guitar player. She was talking about Tommy. And then Emily and me, and we all lived within a few blocks of each other. It was insane. And we put together this 3-piece. It was called Sure Thing with an O, very catchy. And we kicked ass. We
sure did.
A lot of old Tommy, because we're a bunch of old farts. And would come in, and she's throwing in new stuff, and then she'd be doing things her way, which was just amazing and rocking out, and just really receptive. And then we were writing, we were doing originals. It was awesome, and then I up and left. Yeah. Sorry, man. But all this time, Emily has been building her career, and she's got a really budding musical career, really good stuff. She's been releasing things. And that's our subject for today. We want to talk about what the process is like for you, Emily, and how it's all happened. So why don't we start from there?
Wow. Okay, that's a lot. I guess starting from the beginning, to make a long story short, now everything is moving really well and really quickly. But to be honest, like the journey up into this point was actually really difficult, because I feel like I actually wasted a lot of time and I feel like a lot of people are in the same boat, just not really knowing a lot about the music industry and not knowing any better in certain situations. So trying to collaborate with people, not knowing who's legitimate, whose advice to take. And for many years, like I pretty much knew ever since I was very, very young, just something in me that I just knew I wanted to be a singer. So I tried, and I worked with people, and it just wasn't working out, up to the point where I actually worked on an EP for over a year. And the collaboration went terribly wrong. I had to walk away from it, and I lost all that music. I lost all that time. And I was actually really defeated. And I was like, what do I do now? I don't even know. But and this is it's always been kind of kismet, just people in my life pushing me forward. And when that happened, everybody in my life was still encouraging me to pursue it. And actually, like a good friend of mine that comes to the hotel that I still work at part-time, she had requested I sing a song for her and make a video. She actually comes to my side of the water for cancer treatments. And she asked me to record one of her favorite songs. And I recorded it and I posted it online to actually promote a show that I can't remember if it's one that we did together or if it was prior to that. And I came into contact through posting that video with an indie label in Los Angeles and started a conversation there. And from that point, kind of everything turned around for me because I finally was talking to some people that had my best interest in mind. Whereas in the past, a lot of people, I feel like they saw that I was talented, but instead of helping me and like nurturing that talent, it was more like they wanted to see what they could get out of it. Sadly,
the story of LA, to be honest.
Yeah,
everybody here out for themselves.
It is in this industry. It's like,
oh my gosh, and you alone as a young girl with really no
a young girl.
It's amazing that you came through it. But you know what? What makes you know what they say, it makes you stronger when you have.
For sure. Like sometimes those lessons don't stick unless you really fall on your ass, honestly.
Right. And that's why I think this will be a great conversation because you can help a lot of people to avoid all that crap,
Definitely. I don't want people to go through what I went through because it's very frustrating. I lost so much music through the years working on projects that never happened because contracts were funky or they weren't up to par or this or that. But anyhow, I finally, like I said, came into contact with some people that did have industry knowledge, had proven themselves to be trustworthy. And I finally made a connection with a producer that I really, we just click. So, and that is so important. That I worked with a lot of different people, but it's never been how it is now, where the music I'm making, I'm like, it really reflects myself and it's the type of music I want to make. And I have absolutely no doubts about it. So,
it's amazing too. I've been listening to these, and you say these guys are out of LA. What's the name of the company?
Go Ahead Records in Los Angeles.
Really? I'm gonna have to do a remote and visit those guys. What do you think?
Yeah, you should. Absolutely.
That'd be a lot of fun, huh?
Absolutely. Yeah. They're amazing, and I'm so grateful. They offer record label services to artists because the music industry is not how it used to be. With streaming and social media, it's just a totally different game. And it kind of seems like record labels, you don't really get discovered. Audiences get discovered because we have these social media platforms, everybody has the opportunity to build their own audience. So, if a label is going to invest, which is what they do, they invest tons of money into an artist to try to launch them. They can already see, can you pull an audience? Exactly. But on the other side of the coin,
how many followers do you have, right?
Yeah.
It's their whole thing these days.
Exactly. But on the other hand, if you already have an audience, do you really need a record label?
This is true, well, depends on what level you want to get to, they'll make you an offer you can't refuse eventually,
that is definitely true.
That will happen. But how much level of success do you really need? You don't have to be Beyonce, for God's sake,
Do you want to be Beyonce? That's the question.
Exactly. Well, after last night, I'd say yes, because her album dropped and it's like number one already. So Beyonce's the queen of the world.
It would probably be pretty cool, but it would also probably be kind of annoying.
I know. Well, you don't need that kind of level of
I don't know if I want it.
Yeah, exactly. But you're doing it the right way, Em, and it's amazing to see you develop your brand the way you're doing it. I'm doing the same thing here at Old Guys Rock with the website, OGRock.com. The whole idea about podcasting and talking to people like that is getting people to subscribe and go to your site and then building that audience so one day you'll have the 50,000 people following you that the record company's going to want to see, and then maybe they'll push your album out there a little bit and get some money, because making money in this business, forget about. Did I ever tell you don't quit your day gig? They really mean that. Don't do it, guys. Don't do it. Yeah, although I gotta say, I've talked to some really successful people out here, and none of them had day gigs. They all just were musicians from the start, and they never wavered, and they're freaking monsters. So what am I to say? But as a mediocre musician, regular guy, I'm not one of those guys.
Oh, you're so talented.
Don't quit your. But it's fun. It's a great life. I love being a musician. Connecting. Gosh, I miss those moments. When you get those little vibrations and the chills. We'd click like that. When you're in a band and it's just you're on that same frequency, it doesn't always happen. But really, and when you do, it's magical. And
100%.
When I played oboe in orchestra, you get that sound of the band all of a sudden, and you get that chill down your back, and it's a real thing. Love it. Well, you know what, Emily? What I'd like to do is we're going to start a little series here, and we're going to take this whole process apart for you young listeners out there, because we have a lot of young listeners, believe it or not, because they learn. I try to teach here, and entertain. So we will continue this. This is only episode 1, and we're just introducing. But with that being said, I have a little video I did of Emily, so let me grab that for you. You don't mind doing that? Well, you got it anyway.
Hold on, you're breaking up a little bit.
Okay,
what'd you say?
I'm going to bring up this little video I did.
Okay.
So just stand by, and I'll grab it for you. One second. All right. Emily Fraser, young girl pop. Was this your first song then?
This was my debut single, Controller.
Yeah. Where'd you do this footage? It's great stuff. I love
it. What footage?
Like on the film here, you've got some pictures. It looks like you're in a garden or something.
My brother is a photographer, and I use him a lot because I'm so comfortable with him.
He's terrific. Does he do weddings?
I'm sure he'll do it at whatever you're going to pay him for.
There you go. Well, contact us through the website, and we'll make sure to get a hold of him if you need him. And he's out of Virginia Beach, by the way.
Correct.
What's this?
That's us at a charity event, I believe.
Yeah. An original. Oh, my Lord.
The Missing Part. It's my second single.
I love this song.
Me too.
I like it. Yeah, I could tell the words are meaningful to you in this.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That one was deep.
There's a lot to be said for lyrics. I've always been kind of a music guy. Always been more interested in, and I've always thought of lyrics as kind of something to support the music. Words.
Yeah.
And, the music behind it, because it's rhythmical and there's patterns to it. But I've learned lately that late in life that the lyrics are really, really important to a song. Especially if you're writing from your heart, and there's some deep stuff going in there. And a lot of times you'll hear the song and it's, it's bubbly about like your song here. But then you start diving into those lyrics, and they're dark and deep, and there's some real good stuff going in there. So, I recommend people get into the juicy stuff. It makes it fun.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the melody and how it pulls you is super, super important. But me, I've always valued the writing. My dad's a writer. I take pride in that craft, and my lyrics are always very thoughtful and meaningful to myself. So yeah. Wow. I pay attention to the lyrics in songs, but sometimes you don't. You'll know a song and you've I've been singing the lyrics wrong the whole time.
Like every
but you
Beatles
still
song.
love it. Yeah. So, I don't know.
That's hilarious. Well, on that note, we're going to say goodbye. And I hope everybody enjoyed this episode. Please let us know on the website, spread the word, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. But, and check it out. Any comments, and, if you want to have us do something special in the future, let us know. We'll be glad to do that.
All right. right. Yeah, thank you for having me. And definitely check me out on all my other platforms. All my music's on all music platforms: YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Music, Emily Fraser. And I'm on all social media platforms as well, or pretty much all of them. It's Dareal Emfra, DarealEmfra. You could probably even Google me at this point, because I'm on my search engine.
You are. You're on the way up, girl. You are.
Yeah.
One day, we're going to be paying big money to watch you. So.
I'll give it for free. I'll always do it for free for you, Fred.
Oh, I love you. Take
love
care.
You
Bye, everybody. Remember what I always say: rock and roll, baby. Oh, guys, rock! Woohoo! Later on. Bye-bye.
Closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. This is the end, beautiful friend.
Get the f*** out of here.